FireAde, you're gonna get 4 of these, okay? Instantly douses any kind of a fire, campfire, outside fire, inside fire, grease fire. You get 4 of them. We got fires going. I wanna see how it works. Come on over. I've never seen this live before. This is gonna sell out. Pete Kilcullen is here.
Awesome.
All right, what do I do?
Guy, I know you got to work with Ron, but you were inside because it was raining that day. So we got a couple fires there. So let's get right there. Let's hit that first can right there so we can see how this can instantly cool that surface of the fire. Now that you've kind of put that fire down, you can walk closer and really just fire some in there and cool that off. You know, go right to the next one.
What?
And look at that. It's amazing. Oh, hold on.
Too late.
I knew he was going to go so fast. I got super excited about doing that. It's amazing. But Guy, the great thing about this is that this is an ordinary can.
That's
very
awesome.
Similar to the bug spray. Like you never have used this before, but there's no learning curve. There's nothing you have to do to kind of figure this out. And if you're like me, you've never used a regular fire extinguisher before. You have to pull that pin and kind of figure it out. Here it is super easy. Now if there's I mean, that one you hit quite a bit is totally cool. I mean, if I hit that one now, it's gonna immediately cool that surface. It is amazing what this can do. But Guy, it's different than that fire extinguisher because you could use this because it's so easy, because it's readily available, you're getting 4. What about those other times? Here's a great example. We're looking at the tailgate. You know that it was just yesterday we kicked it off. It's the most popular time for tailgating. You can cool off that charcoal, you can cool off the entire grill in seconds, put it back in your car. You ever see all the grills left outside after tailgating when everyone goes into the game?
I don't know if you remember when Danny was little and he was at this camp on the beach, and somebody had a bonfire the night before and didn't extinguish the coals. Danny got 3rd-degree burns on his knees. The kids jumped in the pit.
That is an absolutely amazing example of why this is so great. Campfires, bonfires, things like this. Make sure that you put that out, or just have one. I was always nervous when the kids were little, all running around a campfire. You never know, things can happen, but you can be safe. And look how small, look how compact. And all it is, all you gotta do is press that button. That's it. You've done it before with so many different cans like this that you have at home, so there's no learning curve. But this is eco-friendly, so it's non-toxic, it's biodegradable, super easy, water-based formula. So if you have to spray it anywhere around your yard or on your grill, you could just rinse it off or wipe it off. It's fantastic.
And it's especially good on grease fires. And let me tell you, I worked in the restaurant business for a long time, as you know, and grease fires, you know, they have a special chemical that's above everywhere in a kitchen that puts out grease fires, because if you put water on them, it spreads the fire.
And I know we get that question a lot, Guy, because as I just mentioned, this is water-based, but you can use this on those grease fires. It's much different than those powdered fire extinguishers. So you will get a flare-up.
Less messy, too.
Right, but you'll get they're messy too on grease fires. You'll get a flare-up, but then it'll immediately cool that surface of the grease. It'll bring it down, and it will be effective against those grease fires. So I think you're gonna be excited. And don't forget, with a grease fire, you're able to stand back those 15 feet and hit that.
Yeah, let me update everybody. Okay, so we brought in 8,700 for this visit. Kyle, how many left? 1,600 left. That is how quickly these go. And listen, I'm not telling you, and I'm not poo-pooing your fire extinguisher. Everybody needs to have those. But by the time you get down under the sink, you don't even know if it's still got anything left in it because you don't use it that often, right? By all that time, that fire's getting out of control. Wouldn't you just grab this? Boom, that's what you do. This is there at the ready. So keep one indoors, maybe keep one out by your barbecue, definitely one in your kitchen. I'd have one of these anywhere that there's potential for something to break out in a fire, right? Gotta bring it when you go camping, fishing, boating, all that stuff. You need to have one of these. And it was the guy that created it, what's his first name again?
Ron, yep.
I met Ron, and Ron is the guy, he's behind it. He's like, you know what, I developed this product because I knew there was a need for it. Regular fire extinguishers are great, and they're great in an emergency, but they take time to get to, and a lot of people don't know where, they may have one fire extinguisher and it's in the kitchen. What if you have a fire somewhere else? You gotta run all the way to the kitchen. Keep these things handy. And we extinguished all 3 of those fires with one can.
Yeah, exactly. These cans are gonna last 5 years, 5 years shelf life when you have them at home. But you're right, Ron's all over the world, you know, spreading, you know, all the facts about FireAde. Thousands of fire departments around the country are using it, the military. And I wanna show you something, Guy. This is kind of cool. I think you'll like this, because we're talking about this being a water, Guy steps back, a water-based formula and how it can be effective on those grease fires. So this is a road flare. There we go, pop that on. So Guy, we've got a road flare and it burns extremely hot. And I wanna show you this. I'm gonna put this in this bowl of water. So when I put this in the bowl of water, nothing happens. Well, it's supposed to work on the roadside, right? When you're in the rain.
And all
so
that?
now I want you. Now here's a cool thing. We're gonna put out this flare. You're gonna do it. You don't have to worry about getting it on my hand. That's gonna be fine because it's water-based. So go ahead, put that out. Get it all in there. Hit that again for me. Look at that. So there you go. We put this underwater, and it didn't do anything. Guy's still all the way on the other side of the studio.
Right.
It's okay. We're able to put that out, even though it's water-based. And see that, it's on my arm, it's on my hands. Oh, you're exactly, thanks, Guy, forgetting that. That's it. You can just wipe that off, and you're set to go. So that's what's so great about this. So what if you had to put out a fire, even if it was on an automobile, or if it's on an appliance or something like that in your kitchen? You're not gonna have to worry about it, because it is water-based, and you can wipe it off, you can rinse it off with water wherever it is. So you were talking about where you can have it. Most of the fires in a household are gonna happen in that kitchen, so definitely one in the kitchen. Also in a laundry room, when we think about a dryer that can get really hot, things like that. Certainly in the garage is a great one, Guy, if you're using your garage as a workshop. But more importantly, what about keeping one in your car? Guy, how many times have you seen car fires and just weird things happening on the roads?
You're driving down the road.
Yep.
You know, when I was in Arizona, you drive down the road and you would see somebody throw a cigarette outside, and you could see there's a little fire on the side of the road.
Yep.
This instantly extinguishes, and I can't emphasize enough, biodegradable, eco-friendly, okay? You saw Pete, I sprayed it right on Pete's hand. I was gonna spray it all over him, make sure he didn't catch fire. Hey, really quick, we have something available that I think you should pick up. This is a little magnetic carrier, and what this can go anywhere, you know, on a fridge or whatever, and it
in your
sticks
workshop,
to the
we've
side,
got it on a toolbox.
and then you can put the can on. Did you see that? I'll do it again. Watch this. Now you're ready to go. All right, the item number right there. It's only $19.95 from FireAde if you want to get that. Let me explain the offer again for you. You're going to get all 4 of these. All right. These are for any type of fire rescue you need to do and sort of rescue your home. Maybe there's a fire in the corner. We just lit more fires. You see smokes getting in our eyes. We're going to put those fires out in a matter of seconds using this. It's on FlexPay. It's a customer pick. We should get over there.
Right. So grab one. Remember, there's no learning curve. It's that same can that you've used. You know, bug spray is one that comes to mind. That it's a very similar can. Where are you going, Guy? You want to do that?
I'm trying to get out of the black toxic smoke.
So let's put that first one out, and I want you to see how it can instantly extinguish that fire. But now, Guy, just if there was one fire, that now you'd be able to move closer, and then to make sure that that's completely out, you can cool that surface immediately. So go ahead, Guy.
I'm going to go do the one on this end.
All right.
I'll stay far away from it.
Again, that is the advantage when using FireAde, that you can be at a safe distance when you need to extinguish that fire.
I want everybody to see that they don't have to get up close. Okay, watch.
I mean, so if you stop there, you've done a great job. But now it gives you the chance to move close and completely extinguish and cool that surface. So I'll go on this other one from a good distance as well. So I'm over here. You can cool that fire. You guys also getting involved. And now I'm able to get a little bit closer, and now I can completely cool that surface down. So depending upon where this is, but making sure a fire's out in your house is super important. But we're talking about having these available when you want to be safe around a campfire. How about, so many of us like to have a fire pit around the house and the backyard, and then it's time to go in and go to sleep. Making sure you completely put that out is so important. Charcoals with a grill, tailgating with a grill, this is so important.
It's not just out. I mean, I am right here. There's no heat coming out. I mean, this has been doused. You saw that it was like raging. I mean, this fire has been doused. Look at it. I mean, because a lot of fires, you think you put them out, and then they restart again. Right. Because we've saturated them with the can, we know we're good to go. And if you'll notice too, there's no mess. All that extinguishing has been done in a focused area. Exactly. Not like, you know, with an extinguisher, we're like, oh, look out. With water, Guy, you can initially put out that fire, but it doesn't do anything to cool that whole area. Get water? Yeah, exactly. And many times, you know, we have a campfire, we think we have enough water, but it's like you talked about with the bonfire on the beach. We think we've put it out, but we really haven't. That's why it's great to have this around. So certainly for emergencies, but I think it's important to have this around when you do those other recreational activities. Tailgating, definitely, barbecue grills. Maybe you're, you know, using fireworks over the summer. But don't forget, take this with you. Give it to the kids when they're going away to college. I know so many kids have gone back to college right now. So it really is important to have something like this when they're going and they're microwaving pizza boxes. You remember doing that, Guy? Oh, yeah, buddy. That's right. Hey, by the way, let me remind you, you're getting 4. So, you know, I mean, honestly, we have people buying 2 and 3 sets of these, which I would. I mean, and remember, not just for fire, but extinguishing coals.
Right.
I can't emphasize enough how important it is to extinguish a fire completely when you leave a campsite. You know, and I wasn't kidding about what happened to Danny, and it wasn't, you know, we laugh a little bit about it now, about you were a kid, you jumped in a big pit, you didn't know any better, but it was bad. I mean, he literally ended up in the hospital, he had burns on his knees, because they had just put sand over it. The sand didn't put the fire out. The coals were just brewing under there from the night before. So this is the way we'll do that. When I was a kid, I'll tell you one more quick story.
Do it.
My brother and I, it's Christmas time, we go to Grandma's house. By this time, my brother Darren could drive, so we didn't have to stay at Grandma's any longer than we needed to. So we came back home before my parents did, sitting in our chairs, and this is the old days where we had the old-fashioned Christmas lights on the outside tree, the ones that got hot. The hedges caught fire in front of the house.
Unbelievable.
We were doing the old fire drill with the buckets of water, and it took us forever to get that out.
You know what, Guy? You've told 2 stories on the air about your experience, bad experience with what fire can do. All of us have these same exact stories, so that's why we know we should have FireAde around. If we've had one fire extinguisher in the house and we haven't looked at it in 10 years, this is why we should do it. Not just for those big emergencies that happen in the house, and they can happen, but for all those other places and things that we're doing. I want everyone to understand the biggest question is, we do get questions about, is it effective on grease fires? It will be effective. You're gonna have an initial flare up, but it will cool that surface, and it will be effective against those grease fires. So have one in the kitchen, and one in the laundry room, the garage, and one in the car.
You get 4 of them, all right? And it really does the job. If you want to get $10 off, we got an 8% credit card for you. Everybody that signs up brand new will get $10 off their first order, making that $26 instead of the $27, instead of $36. So grab it while you can. All right, Pete, we're going to shift gears. We're going to talk about probably my favorite tool I've ever bought here, which is the pole saw. Peter knows.